Back in 2010, long before they had a partnership with major studios, Games Workshop released one of their boldest cinematic projects, a Warhammer 40K movie titled Ultramarines, and to this day it sits as a bit of a nostalgic cult classic amongst older fans, and in my mind firmly in the so bad it's good category. Produced by Codex Pictures and written by Dan Abnett himself, the story follows a unit of Ultramarines as they're sent to investigate an Imperial shrine and find out what has happened to the detachment of Imperial fists who are supposed to be guarding it. What follows is a compelling blend of fast-paced action with palpable gothic horror and suspense, albeit amplified by the janky and creepy expressions seen on so many of the faces. However, behind those faces are some really impressive names. We've got Terence Stamp, John Hurt, Donald Sumpter, Sean Pertwee and Steve Waddington to name just a few of the cast, and for the most part they put in some really energetic and at times Shakespearean performances. Once you've heard John Hurt screaming "Burn Heretic," it's what you'll think of every time you see a chaplain. That said, the CGI is often the film's weakest element. The settings are quite minimalistic, and that makes the more awkward character movements and facial expressions all the more prominent. However, when you look more closely, you can see that a lot of care and detail has actually been put into this film, and it's interesting because all of the ingredients for a superb film are genuinely there, they just don't quite come together in the way you'd want from a visually driven action film. As a psychological one though, I think it still kind of works. For the most part, Ultramarines offered us a perspective on Warhammer 40k and the Astartes that was really bold and exciting for its time. It introduces some of the key bits of lore behind the Space Marines and presents them in a way that isn't insultingly simplistic. And if you look closely, you can see how some of its protagonist's story was later taken and refined into what we see in titles today. So in many ways, it laid the foundations for a much more successful Ultramarines franchise. In the end, Ultramarines is a film that you can't take too seriously, and for that reason, I fully recommend it. With a running time of around 70 minutes and readily available here on YouTube, it's really easy just to have on in the background while you're painting models. In that sense, I think it will continue to have fans and some measure of success for a very long time. If you checked it out for yourself already, let me know what you made of it in the comments below.